What's up, gunpla modelers? This is Starter Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Customs, and today I am going to build this kit. The 1/100 scale Z Gundam Series number 13, Z Gundam, MSZ-006, from the Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta animated series. Or is it Zeta Gundam animated series? Yes. What you're looking at here, it was originally, and I've said this in the last video, my first ever gunpla kit that I built when I first discovered Gundam back in 84, 85, one of those years. And I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I just saw something unique, something different. I saw a lot of model kits, a lot of robot model kits at the time. And I said, let me pick this. This looks pretty, iconic or majestic or, cool. And of course, little did I know that there was more to it than just a static, mech that you see here. And there were, I don't know how much I paid for it at the time. At the time, I wasn't barely even, all I had was making some allowances. I wasn't working, I can only remember what my dad and my mom gave me. And then I just saw this and I said, I like this better than whatever was available at the time. But it opened the door to everything that I used to, that I'm building today, of course. And Zeta has not been one of my favorite series. I've only watched maybe one or two episodes, and I watched, I think, all three translation movies. Or is it translations or transition? But I acknowledge it. The only thing I never liked was the Advance of Zeta line. I was never big into it. I like the classics. I just don't like the Advance of Zeta. That's my opinion. So you can argue with that later on. But right now, I am going to build this kit. And I got this, of course, at Wise Guys Hobbies. They have an online store. Actually, all their store is based out of on eBay, but prices are stupidly reasonable. They're the best prices. I'll see if there's any links. I'll probably post a link down below to Wise Guys site if they have one. I think they do. And tell them Starter Prime sent you. But here we go. We got the images of what it looks like already built. Obviously, it's all in Japanese. Can't tell what year it came out. It could be 80. Maybe between 83 or 84. But yeah, this is really nice and simple. This box is not as huge. It is 1/44 scale, and of course, this kit is non-transformable. So don't expect it to be transforming into the Wave Rider mode. That you had to buy another kit, that the 1/100 scale version. I believe they may have made a 1/44 scale version that can transform, or I don't know if it's part swapping, but another variant of the kit. But I never bothered to look at it or identify it. But we're going to build this guy right here. Now, I showed this in the last video, but let's do it again here. Shame to waste a good bag that's been holding on to these parts for over 30, maybe 40 years, you could say. Oh yeah, here it is. Don't know if you could see it. 1985. Made in Japan. Wow. I guess maybe next year they'll have a 40th anniversary Is it 40? I think so, yeah. 40th anniversary of the Zeta series. Obviously, we have like these classic polycaps. Okay. Wow, good detail. I believe this is the paper that if you lose a part, you can send it in, and then they'll send you another part. Here's the manual. Very classic, as you can see here. We have the assembly of the arms, very simple. The legs, the beam rifle, the chest part, actually the chest and waist part are all the same. The wings and fins and things like that. And then you have the head unit, and then you put them all together. Of course, you have a nice little illustration of what would be the color guide. It's easy, you know, the blue, red, yellow, clearly white, and black, with a hint of orange in these areas here and here. That's a gray tone right there. Obviously, there's gray tone in there. And some people will like to do is paint the parts on the actual tray. But then, if you cut them off, unfortunately these are not undegated. So if you paint it on the tray and you cut them off, clearly you have to paint those areas as well. I'm going to explore two things. First, airbrushing, and maybe hand painting, so we can do the overall. You know, and I don't have to like mask off a lot of things, but we're going to try that. So let us begin building the classic Zeta Gundam 1/44 scale. Alright, so I'm assembling the arms here. One thing I had to do is glue these parts first. I was going to use this, but I said, nah, I'm going to use a regular glue use extra than cement. It'll be a lot easier this way. But if I remember how I did this, let me see, that goes there. No, I need this one. And that one goes. Oop, the other way around. By the way, I got the AC on because it's hot outside. Oh yeah, the minute I walk out this door, I'm cooking. Unlike my last apartment where I had like a drapes to cover the door, and this one I can close my door and don't have to worry about anything. But I gotta do this right because I don't want the glue to go inside this. That's good. I'm gonna put this one on here. And then constantly move it around so that way it's easy to turn. Here we go. Do the other one. Clearly there's going to be a lot of gluing here that is required for this kit. There. We'll let that dry. We'll move on to the, the other parts. Let me just make sure this is not the right one to use. I'll use this one. There we go. And that way when it dries, I could sand it down with the sanding stick or sponge. And we'll go from there. Okay? Alright, so I glued on the shoulders right now for these and held them on with some clamps. There is a seam line that goes right through this. I'll sand them down later on. Right now we just want to do test fitting. These do turn around fine. This one I had to put the poly cap in there, and I had to nip this off right now. Now, actually, hold on. There's a part here that I was looking for. Where is that? Yeah. There we go. Now, I gotta look at the orientation here. So it's like that. And then we take, I believe this, right? No, we do want this. Slide that through there, so it's a poly cap hole. And then this one goes through there. I don't want to do it now because I want to sand this off. I just want to do a little test fit first. This one goes there. This one. So let's try this. Okay, I can actually put it on afterward and then close it up. Alright, there we go. Now you gotta remember, a long time ago when this kit was being produced back in 85, everything was like all right down the middle. Nobody thought of the geometry and the technique that we are now accustomed to today's model building. So there is a seam line right going through this, that, and through here. I should glue this, but I'm going to actually hold on to it for now, just to see how it feels. And then I'm going to take it apart, then clean up this, sand it, and then, glue it on again. And then I'm going to try to, give me a second, let me see if I can do this in here. I also want to airbrush it as best as I could. There we go. There we go. That's how it would look. Actually, let's assemble the hands. And you have a beam saber, of course. Didn't notice that. And you only have one set of hands, because nobody thought back then in 85 that maybe it'd be a cool idea to have open hands for dramatic poses. Let me now I had to shake. I'm almost done with this, so I'm going to use something a little bit more thicker. I'm just going to apply pressure, that's all. That's good. Let me do the other one. By the way, I did submit a request to Zacharias if this kit qualifies for the old to gold contest. I haven't heard a response yet. Most likely he'll say yes or no, but I hope, hopefully I can turn this old into a gold kit for those of you guys to appreciate. And if you guys are entering the contest and you don't have one of these older kits or any of mech kits, go to Wise Guys Hobbies right now. I'll put the link on the link is on this video, so for their eBay page. They'll have a ton of stuff, and maybe you'll find something you would like to build, and be a little nostalgic in building it. Even for you new guys who have never built an old kit, try it. It doesn't hurt. It's not gonna kill you, but you could see the progression from back then till now. All right, let me continue on with the assembly.